the penultimate video, not day, but video of summer. Welcome everybody to Stardew Valley here on Fantasy Farm. Let's take a look at what things are looking like. Spirits are in good humor. The weather tomorrow will be another storm. So we'll get one more at least before the year's over. Hey Gus, how's it going, man? Now what a beautiful day, huh? You know, as the saloon owner, I hear about everything that's going on in town. Remember when you first moved here, everyone was a bit unsure of what to expect. Stranger from the city and unknown personality. 1 second. Sorry, I have to stir this pot every 5 minutes. Ah, don't need it. Sticking to the sides. Fair enough. What was I saying? Oh yeah, you know, it's like when you're making a sauce. If you put in a new spice, you could ruin everything. Or it could catch on fire. Apparently. But then again, there's always a chance you'll create something new and delicious, right? What I'm trying to say is, it's been great having you in town, and I've come to think of you as one of my good friends. Well, hell yeah, brother. Came to give you something. I was cleaning out the back room, and I found this old mini jukebox. I want you to have it. Well, that's really nice of you, thanks. Received a mini jukebox. It's actually an old do-it-yourself project of mine from many years ago. They're pretty easy to make. So just in case you wanted to make more, I brought the blueprints for you. Learned how to craft a mini jukebox. Well, I gotta head home. I gotta get this marinara back on the stove. Have a good one. You too, man. I'll catch you around. He's just such a good guy. He's just so nice. Freaking love Gus. Such a good character. Just an all-around nice dude. Alright, today's episode, what are we doing? Well, first, let's check the mail. Dear Delta, I'd like to share an old cooking recipe my pappy used to make. It's important the fish is fresh. Will eat. New cooking recipe, chowder. To Farmer Delta, my knee's acting up again, and you know what helps? Rubbing the darn thing with hot pepper. Trouble is, my supplies run dry. If you've got one to spare, I'd be much obliged. George. I can do that. George needs a hot pepper to soothe his aching knee. Fittingly, we just picked one up right there. So I will definitely be sure to do that. Once we get our early morning tasks of farming and taking everything else, or taking care of everything else, out of the way. Very nice, very nice. Let's check the other part of the farm, too. Hello. Still got some other stuff over here. Run out of inventory space. I'm going to have to put some of this stuff up real quick. Let's do that, and then we'll head back. So, we've got our coop being worked on, and we'll have the deluxe coop, so we'll be able to start doing that. Next, I'll probably go ahead and start the barn as well once Robin is done with that, but we'll kind of play that by ear a little bit. What else? We're okay on wheat, I think. I'll just add the normal quality, I think. Put those up, put that up. Go ahead and sell the rest of this. Ooh, I missed a squash right there. Glad I saw that. And there were also some sunflower seeds. Yep, they got dropped. And because these can plant in summer or fall, there's no reason to not go ahead and just drop those right back and get them started. They'll survive through the change in weather, so it's perfectly good. So I did mull over what do I want to do today, because we've got a few options here. I definitely do want to make sure I get these geodes processed, because I meant to do that last episode, if you saw that, and just kind of ran out of time. Ooh, more coal, thank you. So I do definitely want to get those processed, and of course take the results to gun through if there's anything new there, which, since there's quite a few of those, there's a pretty good chance that will happen. From there, though, I think today, hopefully, will be the day that potentially we can get to level 10 fishing. As we've been circling around level 9 for quite a while, and it's been a while since we did a fishing day, so it seems only right that we take a day where the luck is pretty good and just head out somewhere. Not sure where I'll go yet. Could be the ocean, could be the lake, not sure. I'll kind of play that by ear and figure it out as we go along. How am I doing on Summer Spangles? That should probably be plenty, to be perfectly honest. Put this up. Just saw it a second ago. There it is. Yeah, and then we'll go ahead and sell the rest of these small little things. Keep bringing in that oak resin. We're going to need to... At some point, I am going to start a huge influx of the kegs. So if you're being like, hey, he's got the recipe for kegs and it's been a while. Like, yeah, I know. What I'm going to do is end up building a shed for that. But, of course, I can't do that today because Robin's already working on other projects. So we'll have to save that for another point. I've got a couple more projects I want her to work on besides just the coop and the barn. But, obviously, she can't do multiple projects at the same time. But... rest assured, she will be probably quite busy through the fall, I would wager. So I'm going to try to get as much of that done as I possibly can. But it will take more time to get the animals to Higher Happiness to get their various items that we'll need for the community center. So I figured those were a little bit more of a priority to take care of than some of the other things like the shed. I'm pretty sure at least one of these is a new item that we can donate. There's a fire quartz. And an opal, I think that's what that is. Yeah, fire opal. Okay, so one of those. This. I could have sworn we hadn't donated the tiger's eye, but I guess we, in fact, had. I'm going to hang on to that for the time being, because I know Sam really likes that. So I'll hang on to that. Oh, and the calcite. Yeah, I need to donate that too. I'll hang on to the dwarf gadget, because I do think that's used for a recipe. I don't remember what it is specifically, but I will hang on to that as a result. Hey, bud. Came to drop off a couple things. What do you got for a reward? A bear statue. I don't know if that's a set number or if there was a specific thing I had to donate. You guys will be seeing that on screen right now. Alright, let's drop off a couple little bits and bobs here and there. Oops, that was not the right thing I meant to put in there. Give me that. That's what I meant to put in there. There you go, Miss Callie. So how are we doing on our oak resin? Wow, voice just like... I wouldn't even say that was a voice crack. It just died right there. How are we doing on those oak resin? Looks like we were doing pretty well there. Toss a couple more gold bars in that. Swap it out for the bamboo fishing rod. Yeah, 8. That's not bad. That's not bad. I am okay with that. Also, I put a dwarf gadget in here. I'll go ahead and throw a second one in here just in case. I don't really think I need a second one. If I get a third, I'll definitely be just selling them, but that is something we can worry about another day. For now, let's use the rest of our day to have a nice little fishing day, because it's been a while. been a while since we did fishing. We've spent so much time on, like, mining, foraging, picking up stone, getting things crafted, just going around the general area. I could... Yeah, we could probably do that. She's only at the doctor's office. I wouldn't have to go that far. I was going to go fish at the ocean. But I can get that iron bar tomorrow because it's still available, right? And I do need to get that hot pepper to George. I don't want to keep the poor guy waiting. I know what it's like to have it whenever your knee is just not cooperating. So let's do both of those. Nope, not that. Iron bar, hot pepper, and there we go. Gonna run a couple errands here. Actually, let me check something real quick here. Yeah, I might see if I can get... I might actually go up and kind of... Yeah, I know, it should be open. Oh, hey, Maru. Got an event with you, I guess. I was gonna say, I'm gonna, like, try to get Sebastian's friendship level leveled up, because I can't get into his room yet, and it's kind of hard to, interact with him because of how often he's in his room. So I probably should go fish up there instead. Ah, oh no! The whole sample is ruined. Harvey's gonna kill me. This feels a lot like Sam's event of, like, it was an accident. What should I do? Just scoop it off the floor, he won't know the difference. He'll know the difference. It's glass. Tell Harvey it was my fault. Tell Harvey it was an accident. I'm going to check to see what the right answer is. I personally, before looking it up, would say tell Harvey it was an accident, because that's the truth. It was just an accident, but we'll see. Alright, I've looked it up, and unsurprisingly, yes, that was the correct answer. Tell Harvey it was an accident. So it was the truth. You're right, I should just tell him the truth. He's coming to get you. What happened? I heard something break. I accidentally dropped one of the samples. I'm so sorry. Thanks for telling me the truth, Mario. Don't worry about the sample. We'll just get another one. Thanks for being patient with me, Dr. Harvey. Of course, you've been a big help around here. I don't know what I'd do without you. See, it wasn't that big a deal. Hey, Harvey, what's up? Delta, you look a little pale. Are you feeling okay? Yeah, I'm good. I'm always a little bit pale. Colder season is coming up, so I'm here to get my flu vaccine. Makes sense. Oh, perfect. Now I can continue the project I was working on. Thanks a bunch, Delta. New achievement, clicks. And that achievement is for... reaching a 5-heart friend level with 4 people. So Mario is one of them. Vincent's the other. Sam and Gus are the other ones. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can have a little bit of luck finding another event. Well, good news. I found. I was gonna say I was see if I can have luck with getting Sebastian something, but we'll do this first. Harvey's just all over the place all of a sudden, which is funny because I don't think this is a Harvey event either. I'm pretty sure this is a George event. George, I'm going to be honest with you. You need to make some more changes in your lifestyle if you want to stay healthy. I'd like you to reduce your sodium intake and try to get some moderate exercise with your arms. I know what's best for me. What do you think you are telling me how to live my life? Literally a doctor. I went to school for 8 years so I could learn how to help people stay healthy. Yeah, medical school's no joke. Oh, I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be here. These checkups are supposed to be private. Well, the door was unlocked. I didn't realize you were in here. Not so fast. I'd like to get a second opinion from this young man. Very well. Delta, what do you think George should do? George should follow Dr. Harvey's advice, or George knows what's best for his own body? I'm going to double check. I'm pretty sure you should follow the doctor's advice, but we'll see friendship-wise what the correct option is here. So it turns out this actually was a Harvey event. I thought it was a George event because, you know, it's in his house. But no, this is a Harvey event. This is his 2-heart event. And unsurprisingly, as it is Harvey's event, you're going to side with Harvey. Which, still, I would still say this regardless. Like, yeah, he is a doctor. He is trained in this. You see, George, I'm just trying to help you. Fine, I'll do what you say, Doctor. Thanks for your help, Delta. I appreciate it. Hey, Evelyn. Gonna bake cookies today. They're little coconut wonders shaped like little palm trees. Ooh, sounds pretty good. I do like a good coconut. Can't talk. My favorite program's on. Well, you're not in the room with the TV, and I came to bring you this. Took you long enough. Huh, well, it's good and spicy, at least. Thanks. Anytime, my man. Anytime. Got your back. Yeah, I do think I'm going to try to get a frozen tear to Sebastian sometime today. In fact, once I get to back to the farm and grab one, I might quickly check his schedule for the day and see if there's a specific time or place he'll be where I can get him. Frozen tear. Ah, there it is. We got plenty of them. All right, we'll be right back, and I'll check and see if I have an opportunity to give him this sometime today. All right, we're back. It is Thursday, and the train is accessible, or the train station is accessible. So by the time we get there, he will probably actually be heading out there to go smoke. So we should actually have this timed pretty well, all things considered. So he leaves at 2, so by the time we get there, he'll probably be out of his room, potentially out of the house. We should just run right into him. Sure enough, there he is. Definitely don't want to go swimming if that's what you're going to ask. Oh, you just stopped to say hi? Sorry. Actually, I came to give you this. Really love this. How'd you know? A little bit of magic, that's all. And there we go. 2 hearts. So he'll be able to get into his room next time he's in there. It'll play a little event. If I remember, I'll be sure to give him something on Friday as well. You want something from me? Nah, just drop by to say hi. Alright, let's do some fishing. I know typically I would cut the fishing out, but it's been a while, like I said. It's been a while since we've done some fishing. So you know what, we'll just kind of let this play out naturally, and if I don't have too terribly much to talk about, then we'll go ahead and skip forward. But if not, and who knows, something interesting might happen. Might get a chest with something rare in it. We'll play it by ear and see what happens. It would be really nice to get to level 10 today, but, you know, if it does not happen, it does not happen. We still have plenty of time, so... And even then, it's not like we're limited on time, it's just I would like to try to get it pretty soon here, and I feel like we're decently close to that level 10. I feel like we've been circling it for a while now. It would have been weird... Well, it is weird to think that farming and fishing are both at the same level and neither are at 10. I would usually, in most playthroughs, I would have my fishing at level 10 well before I got to farming level 10. It would probably be at about maybe 6 or 7. So it's crazy to think that, I mean, there's still a very high chance that fishing will be the first level 10 skill I get, but it would not be outside of the realm of possibility for it to be farming or even foraging, for that matter. But we will see how things go here. I should keep an eye on how many sturgeon I've got as well. I need to make sure I've got enough of those for a fish pond later on. But a fish pond's not super high on my list of things to get done. Like I said, I would much rather get the barn built and upgraded to its full stages. I would probably build either the shed or the other thing I'm going to keep quiet on what I want to build after that. But one of those two things, and then the remainder of those two. And then once I built both of those, then maybe I would consider starting to put a fish pond in. And I would probably put it on the right side of the farm in that patch that's just to the right of where our crops are, right up against the side of the farm. I'd probably just go ahead and cut down that specific tree and just put a new pine tree somewhere else to get the pine tar that way, because that's usually a pretty decent spot to put the fish pond. It's always an interesting spot right there, because when you first get it, it's like, yeah, there's not really much use, and then you get the axe where it's big enough to be able to cut down all the stumps and small trees and stuff, and it's like, okay, now I've got a little patch of area here that can't be used for farming, so what can I use it for? You could use it for, you know, like all of your treasure chests to store things. You could use it for, you know, you could put a bunch of trees there and just make it an area where you do all the tappers. The geode. You can make it a fish pond. I know a lot of people use it for, like, their area where they put in, like, the automatic stuff, like the recycling machines. So it does seem to be that, like, most... I wouldn't even say I've watched a lot of full playthroughs of Stardew, or, like, you know, a big bulk of the first 2 years or anything like that. It's more so a thing I keep on in the background, which, you know, I know for a fact at least one person that watches me does that as well, which is totally fair. It is a very nice, like, just calm, relaxing thing to have in the background, just to listen to, but not really watch. But most of them that I have seen typically do take the, either the forest farm or the standard farm. There's one person I've watched for a while that every time that there was a new update with a new farm, he would, of course, do a file with that, but I'm fairly confident that he's done at least 2 years with every single farm, which is not something I can say. I can safely say I've played every farm, but definitely not gone through the full 2 years on every farm. I've done that with forest for certain, the standard farm for certain. Oddly enough, the mining farm is one that I have done over 2 years for certain. And I don't think any of the... Well, no, that's not true. I might have done it with the fishing farm. But I don't think... I think it was over a year, but not 2 years. I think the fishing is also the same, as I went past a year, but not 2 years. And the farm with all the monsters, the hilltop farm, I think I've gotten to about fall of year 1. Everything else I've only played for, like, maybe a season or 2. So, for example, at least as of right now, the newest one that's out is the one of, you predominantly, you start with animals, and it's more of an animal-focused farm than it is a crop-focused farm. Which I just tend to focus on the animals way later, as you've clearly already seen. I'm sure plenty of people out there wouldn't consider, like, late summer or early fall super late to start on the animals. But, you know, it's not the first thing I go for. I don't immediately go to try to construct a coop or anything like that. There's some roe. So yeah, the animal farm is definitely interesting. It would be one that I might do at some point. I'm not 100% sure. I feel like I would only do the one playthrough, but I don't know. Maybe if, like, something in particular came out that I really wanted to see, maybe I would. That said, when and if Haunted Chocolatier is fully ready in the near future, if I'm still doing stuff around here, which is entirely possible, then I would love to be able to show off that game for sure. I've had a fair few games over the years, and they usually end up being ones that I kind of streamed and did a one-off of, like, they're games I would like to do a Let's Play, but I'm either not confident in my skill or not really sure how I would go about tackling it. Moonlighter is the first one that comes to mind, which the second game is actually coming out for pretty decently soon, but if you like your sort of dungeon crawlers, it's a very fun take on that of... You go into dungeons, you defeat monsters and open chests to get things that you can sell, but then you yourself also own the shop, so you set the prices for items. People will come in and try to steal your stuff, so you have to stop them. So it's kind of a dual gameplay type of thing, so you get, you know, sort of, I wouldn't say Binding of Isaac style, but it is a dungeon crawler in that sense. They do share that. Of... sort of the high-level part of the gameplay, or at least, you know, high intensity by comparison, and then you just get the nice little easy, like, hey, you're manning a shop type of thing. So it's got a nice little balance there. I will say I do plan to get back to Mario Superstar Baseball pretty soon for anybody that is watching that. If you're watching this in the future, Mario Baseball is being done at the same time that Stardew is. But I took a break from it after I had the first computer reset, and then by the time that I was thinking about getting around to it, that was when I had the SSD fail. And so, again, I kind of had to put things on hold. But I have not forgotten that exists. I do want to get back to it, but it's probably a case of after I'm done recording these. I don't think I'll do it the same day, but it would be a good stopping point, at least for me. It probably wouldn't change y'all's schedule for it, for Stardew. But this would put me ahead by, if I got everything edited and taken care of, probably about a good 2 weeks, maybe 2.5, and that would give me plenty of time to focus on doing that for everything else. Most of the projects I've been working on have been a lot of IRL stuff, and I'm pretty much caught up with everything that I planned to. I've gotten my driver's license updated and all that stuff of getting ready for traveling overseas at the end of May. I still need to, like, formally finalize the plans with, like, what my friend group and I are doing in that time period and all that, but, like, the only thing I need to do now is just book the flight in particular. And other than that, just a couple small things that I've talked about before of updating my glasses prescription, which I will probably do next week. Get those updated and ready to go. But I also know, without getting into too terribly much detail, that the people that I'm going to visit over there in the UK recently had a friend pass away, and by recently I mean like the last day or two, at least when I'm recording this, so needless to say, giving them a little bit of time to grieve is completely understandable. Well, I'll probably message them about that. Oh, probably around 14th or 15th of February, maybe. And we'll get some time to well and truly get that figured out. I guess we did not hit level... Okay, why can I not... There we go. Could not... For some reason, my brain just could not find the WASD keys for a second there. That's a bit worrying. But yeah, somehow we still did not hit level 10, even with all that fishing. Which I guess it wasn't like a ton or anything, but I mean, that was a pretty good chunk of time. So I'm a little surprised that that was not enough. But oh well. We'll see how it does in the money department, I suppose. So I'm going to sell all the fish and the roe and the jelly. I'm going to sell everything except for the sturgeon. And obviously the other stuff like this that has better uses. Put that in there for now. Yeah, we don't have any of those, so it's a good thing I decided to keep that. That goes in here, that goes in there. We'll toss that in there for the time being. Wood goes in there. I'll have to check what that is tomorrow, so I cannot do that today. I'm pretty sure that was the tomato that I put in that keg. But I was getting close to passing out there. I don't know why I keep donating that hay. I know it's not worth anything, but for some reason... Need to go put it in the silo. That's what I need to do with it. Or just store it in a chest if the silo's full. No, I don't want to go to sleep for the night. I want to check this. The tomato juice. A sweet, nutritious beverage. I don't know if I'd call tomato juice sweet necessarily, but alright. Spirits are in good humor, and the weather for tomorrow is going to be beautiful and sunny. As this is our first time with the juice, I'm just going to go ahead and sell that to add it to our list, and then I'm going to grab another tomato and toss another one in there in case we need any type of juice for something in particular. Fate, I gave you the... let me try that again. Fate Figured I'd give you this recipe I had lying around. Try not to burn it, George. New cooking recipe, fried eel. Fried eel's a pretty good recipe. Look forward to putting that to good use. No, go pick it up. Don't just let it hang out there on the ground. We got a few more days of most of these crops, with the corn and the sunflowers being the exception, so make sure we've got everything we want here in terms of our storage, because it'll be a while before we get a chance for it to come back around. Hot peppers in particular. I know those and the tomatoes are used for quite a bit, so I want to make sure I got enough of those. Doesn't really matter where I put them. Alright, let's check the left side of the farm. Anything over here that's ready to be... Yeah, a couple squashes are ready. And also, speaking of ready, here it is. Our deluxe coop. You can tell also with the pieces of hay, even though there's no animals in here, obviously, that it does do auto-feeding. It's not going to just keep throwing out 12 pieces and wasting 12 pieces of hay, so for what it's worth... 1 second here. There we go. Had to take a quick cut just to readjust in my chair. But for what it's worth, it's not going to just waste 12 pieces. It's just it has that out. If you had like 4 animals, then 4 pieces of hay would be consumed. The rest would not go to waste or anything like that, so there is no need to worry on that front. Those are all taken care of. From here, let me grab this. I am going to go ahead and chop down all of the logs on the left side of the farm, and I will meet you actually at the Traveling Merchant, as today the Traveling Merchant is available. So I will see you guys when I get there. Alright, and here we are. I went and picked up all the hardwood, not only from just the stumps on the side, but I actually went to the secret woods as well, which is why I've got that fiddlehead fern, and I did a quick bit of research on the barn since we're going to be doing that today. Let's see, the floor, the shad, the starfruit, maki roll, summer spangle, fish taco, rainbow trout, truffle, that's tempting, and the rare seed. Again, we've been picking these up pretty consistently. I just want to make note that since today is the 26th in game, the 26th and the 28th are going to be the last 2 days in summer that you have before fall is going to roll around, and this does take all season to grow. So I'm going to pick one up again, but just be aware of that. I'm going to check on the other ones. I do need the truffle and the maki roll, and I can actually finish a bundle by grabbing both of those, so I am going to grab both of those. I don't think I need really anything else here. So yeah, I'm happy with that. We'll go with this. That'll work quite well. I'm glad we'll be able to knock out one of those bundles too. That was one of the ones in the... Yeah, that was the chef's bundle in here. We do have the hay, so we could bring that as well. And I do know how much we need for our barn, because if I pause and hit T, I actually went ahead and wrote it down, so you can just see it on screen right now. 350 wood, 150 stone, and it is 6,000 gold for the original barn. So we've got plenty of ability to go ahead and get started on buying the animals as well. There are a couple things I want to make note of here. There's some like cat trees, some dog houses and stuff, but I do want to make note of a couple things in here. If you are going for the barn first, you are going to need the milk pail to gather milk from cows or goats, so be aware that you'll need this. You'll need shears to collect wool from the sheep as well. These aren't like a you use it one and it disappears item, but you do need these, so just be aware of that. The other thing you're going to want to be aware of is the heater. This will keep your animals warm and happier during the winter. I am going to go ahead and buy one of these now. You don't take a penalty from having a heater in there in the summer or the fall or anything like that. It's not going to damage them or anything because they're getting overheated or anything like that. You're still going to be fine regardless there. But I do want to point out you should have one of those put into your barn and your coop, one for each, whenever you first are starting to buy animals. Because if you go ahead and put it in there, then you won't have to worry about remembering, oh, hey, I need to buy a heater. So that's why I'm picking that up. As for the animals, obviously anything that's grayed out, you're going to need some sort of barn. Obviously, construction of a barn, a big barn, a deluxe barn, etc. But we can obviously pick up what everything is, everything available here in the coop. What do I want to start with? Ooh, this is tough. The rabbit's a lot, so I don't think I'm going to buy the rabbit today, but I am going to buy the other ones. So I'm going to start with the chicken. Well cared for, adult chickens lay eggs every day. They can also lay large eggs as well. Lives in the coop. When choosing a chicken, do pay attention. This says choose a coop for your new brown chicken. If you are looking for the other type of chicken, so if you get a white one and you want a brown one or vice versa, you can simply back out of this down here and choose it again and just keep repeating until you get it. It's a 50-50 shot as of right now. I want one of each, so I'm perfectly happy with having the brown chicken here. Name your new animal. Of course, you can obviously, like with anything else, you could just hit the random thing and just pick any randomal thing that it wants to give you, which is fine, but I'm not going to do that. A brown chicken. It's not really a brown chicken, but it is one of my favorite second stage Pokemon, so we're going to go with Combuskin. And then, of course, I do want to buy another one. And it gave me the white chicken, so that's good. I don't need to back out. Bromo! Yeah, that's a perfect name for a white chicken. These look like names you would get off of Zumbinis, if anybody ever played that old PC game growing up, or that series. Because, yes, there is more than one. For a white chicken, you know what? Again, it doesn't really fit because this is a rooster, not a chicken, but we're going to go with it anyway. I probably can't fit his full name in there. Nope. Foghorn it is for Foghorn Leghorn. Again, I know he's a rooster, not a chicken. I know. But hey, it's close enough. And then lastly, I do want to purchase a duck as well. Happy adults lay duck eggs every other day. It lives in the coop. There are no large duck eggs, but duck eggs do still have their use. So, again, I like to try and grab one of everything. You don't have to, but you can if you want. China the duck. No, that's not what we're going to name. I'm trying to think of a name for a duck. I mean, like, you could go with, like, Donald Duck or something like that. Let's see. We've done, like, Looney Tunes. We've done Pokemon. What else do we have? There's not really any duck Pokemon that I'm super, like, that I super really care about. Like Ducklet or anything like that. I mean, you could always go with something silly like Crackers because of the jokes of always quacking jokes and all that. So Crackers, cracking. Like, really nothing is... You know what? I'm going to go with a weird one. I'm going to go with Hunter. Hey, Jazz. And the reason why Hunter, Duck Hunt, like the old video game. I don't know you. Yeah, you do. You look like you're soaked, you poor thing. Well, I mean, yeah, it is kind of raining outside. It's a little rainy. Alright, so now we need to go and get that coop ready. Robin is open Friday, but she does close early as well. Not super early, but... Along with Marnie, Robin is notorious for having hours in which, whenever you're looking for her, she's not available. So I don't want to waste too much time here. Well, this will be a little bit weird on my end, but we'll see how it goes. My headphone ended up running out of juice on me there, which is weird because it's supposed to give me a low battery warning, and it did not do that. So they're both charging now, so I'm playing without game audio, but hopefully you guys are not playing without game audio. If you are, I do apologize for that, but hopefully that will not be the case. Right, let's quickly drop off the heater in here. It doesn't really matter where you place it, so put it wherever you like. We'll toss it in there. With your new animals, it is important, like with the pet that you picked out early on, the cat or the dog, that you try to interact with them every single day. They'll be under animals now, as you can see. They're obviously still chicks for the time being. They'll upgrade as time goes on, but they do have a heart gauge just like anybody else does. And with that heart gauge means that not only will they be more likely to give you different or better items in case of the larger eggs versus the small one, but the items will be of better quality. In addition to that, should you choose to sell an animal, obviously the happier it is, the more it will sell for, because you've made it nice and happy. So let's, first and foremost, while I'm thinking about it, let's move these over here real quick, because we'll need those for the fall. And we will grab our 350 wood and 150 stone here. And there we go. We'll take that to Robin, and as for what we do with the rest of the day, you guys have already seen it due to the little things that I give you, because future me knows what's going on right now, but present me doesn't know. But I'll kind of decide what I want to do after I get this coop into construction. I'm thinking it might be a fishing day again, solely on the grounds that we do need to be making more money, because we're obviously going to be spending a fair bit here. Ooh, very nice. Got a lost book, and also we'll get some combat experience from Jack Be Nimble, Jack Be Thick, which is good. It's still at 6, but that's okay. Hey, tell me a story about farming. That's really interesting. Thanks, Maru. Rain doesn't stop me from getting a job done. Well, you know what? Hope you're ready to put your money where your mouth is, because it's time to build the barn. The question is, do I want a gap here or not? It doesn't really matter. But I think, for me personally, no, I don't need that gap there. I've got that gap between the house and the coop for a reason, so I'm okay with waiting. So that barn is getting built. If you and Maru becomes friends, if you and Maru become friends, I'm sure she'll show you how to use that telescope out back. She probably will. Let's check in on Sebastian and see if he's here. He is not. I should go grab another frozen tier and check in on him. He might be at the saloon by now, but it is also raining, which throws off his schedule, because that's usually the days that he is out and about, or the days that it rains. So might take a quick peek at his schedule again, see if I can run into him. So we'll put the axe away, we'll get a frozen tier, and I will be right back. It looks like there are two options for where Sebastian could be. One of them we would have seen him because he would have been at home, so I think he is at the dock. If he's not, then we'll double check, but I think he would have been at his computer for the other option. So let's take a look and see if he is in fact down there. We'll see his 2-hour event, like, at some point, just because of how often he is usually in his, room, but if that's not today, that's totally fine. If he's not down here, then I'll take another look at his schedule and try to figure out where the heck he went. Usually Fridays he's at the saloon, but since it's raining, he is probably... Yeah, he is down here. Ocean is best enjoyed alone, don't you think? Yeah, I'll leave you be. I just came to give you this. And we'll do another little bit of a fishing day here, I think. Because we do need to start picking up that money. If I'm right, we're still going to get one more harvest of blueberries, so that'll give us a good little push to get ready for fall. But I do think probably big spending is likely going to stop until fall hits, so that I've got enough for crops, because I do want to make sure that I get a lot of those going. I want to get a lot of pumpkins, a lot of cranberries. Would like to get a big push of crops, because the more that we spend on them initially, the more they'll pay out. So I do think we probably will just have the level 1 barn for the time being, and then once we've spent a good chunk of money on crops. If we've got any left over, we'll do the barn. If not, then of course we'll just start working on money making, and once we've got that, then we'll upgrade the barn. I do want to pick up a rabbit as well at some point, and that's not as big of a money sink as upgrading the barn is, so I'm not as worried about that one. So that one we can potentially do, but we'll see how it goes. But for now, we'll just do a little bit of fishing. I've been having to do a lot of pausing and cuts, so my timer is actually pretty high right now. So I think this actually is going to be a case, and since we already did some fishing, this will be a case to where I will cut to either once it is time for me to head home, or until something interesting happens. So I will see you all when one of those two things occurs. Hey, would you look at that with the super cucumber, we now have some new ideas to sleep on. So ladies and gentlemen, that is it right there. That is level 10 fishing. This is actually a pretty good spot to cut back in. Oops. It's actually a pretty good spot to cut back in because I knew that once I got my energy down to 0, I did eat one of the salmon berries, but once my energy was down to 0, which I figured was probably going to be about 10 p.m. endgame time, I was actually going to head back at that point, and if I could get a bite on my fishing rod, that would be really helpful. Thank you. And the reason for that is, if I remember correctly, not 100% sure if it's got to be a rainy day or if it has to not be a rainy day, but I do think we have the potential for an event now. I'm going to try to see if I can boost it with a little bit more friendship bonus here. So we'll see if we can make it happen. So we'll give one to Pam, one to Shane. You could give these to, like, pretty much everybody that's in the bar. At the very least, it will be a liked gift for them. Hate to be blunt, but if you don't treat nature with respect, our grandchildren will be doomed. No, you're right. You're right. It's been really good tonight. I'm pleased. Never ran in the Calico Desert. That's where my friend Sandy lives. Anybody over here? Probably not, since it's raining. Yeah, that does kind of throw things off. Alright, so let's take a look real quick. That's not the right thing. Yeah, it's possible. We'll find out, though. Again, I don't remember if it has to be raining or not. But I did think of it yesterday whenever I was giving Shane the beer, is that maybe, potentially... Yeah, it's worth eating the seaweed to get that piece of moss. Yes, this is what I was hoping for, was this event. I mean, I wasn't hoping for Shane to be drinking enough to hurt himself, but I did want to see this event. A plate, huh? Sure enough, am. Here, have a cold one. Thanks. Ugh, life. You ever feel like no matter what you do, you're gonna fail? Like you're stuck in some miserable abyss and you're so deep you can't even see the light of day? I just feel like no matter how hard I try, I'm not strong enough to climb out of that hole. Fast drinker, huh? Man after my own heart. Just don't make a habit. You got a future ahead of you still. Well, my liver's begging me to stop. Better call it a night. See you around, Delta. See you around, Shane. Yeah, you've got the tipsy effect for a little bit here. I can't say I've ever had, like, that feeling. It's pretty obvious what he's referring to, but I'll be nice and not just outright say it. But I've definitely had a semi-close feeling to that of more like the... It feels like you're spinning your wheels, just not getting anywhere. And in my case, that was due to... due to choking, apparently. No, it was due to something that was completely beyond my control. There was nothing I could do to fix that particular issue. That was a case of me just having to realize that I still need to balance living my own life with taking care of other people. In the meantime, though, let's go ahead and sell everything. I'm going to keep the sea jellies, I think. Yeah, we don't have a lot of those. And we should be good to put everything else up. I guess I'll throw the mystery box in here for the time being. I just realized this isn't an upgraded chest. I should probably fix that. Could have sworn I'd done that already, but I guess I didn't. That's alright, though. Now it's fixed and we got plenty of space. So let's toss that back in. Are getting back down to, I wouldn't say a small amount of wood, but we are below our... It seems like so much of the time, but it's amazing how fast you run through it between, you know, upgrading the coop, building a barn, and making that big chest. You run through it faster than you think. I do want to point out that normally what you would do is there's this little flap here that you can use to open and close the door to your coops. It'll be on screen. I'm not 100% sure. There's like various things with that of if animals like that and don't like that. I can guarantee what they don't like is if you close that while they're still out, they'll be grumpy. Grumpy just means that they'll refuse to give you crops or produce once they're big enough. But if you do open that door during the day, it's just usually good policy to try to recommend to close it right before you head to bed. Don't do it too early because you want them to be able to get back in there, but they'll do that, I believe, at 6 o'clock. Again, it's on screen. You've been seeing it right now. But it is worth noting that what helps to make them happy is by letting them out during the day so they can explore and be free, and then, of course, at night, closing that so that they'll be able to sleep soundly. Callie, you're in the way. Toss in some more jellies. Well, might as well, since I did say I want to try to make a fair bit of money as we get ready for the fall season here. There it is, level 10 fishing. Choose a profession: angler, fish worth 50% more, or pirate, chance to find treasure doubled. If your level 5 choice was the crab pots, you would of course be seeing two different things, and you'd be seeing on screen now what those two options are should you have done that. For me, this is a pretty much a no-brainer. The angler is nice, don't get me wrong. I mean, the fish being worth more is great, but the potential for doubling your chance to get treasure, and the treasures can be very good, as you've clearly already seen, means that pirate is a no-brainer choice for me. It's got to be pirate. Yeah, the blueberries are not as worth as much as the strawberries by like half, basically, so maybe I'll figure out another thing. I know the blueberries individually aren't worth as much, though, because you get them so much faster, so maybe I'll decide on something else for jellies in at a later point. But for now, that is a good stopping point. This is the longest recording I've had since, I think, episode 1. There's been a lot of cutting here and there, I'm sure, but for me it's at 1 hour and 5 minutes. But yeah, there we go. That's our first level 10 skill, and we've got 2 more that are probably getting pretty close to being level 10 as well. And then we'll just have mining and combat left on that front. We'll have our blueberries on the following day, which is good. And what are we seeing here? Spirits in good humor, and it will be the Dance of the Moonlight jellies on the 28th, which is the last day of summer, and it's also that event as well. So I'm looking forward to showing that off. But until then, thank you all very much for watching, and in the next episode of Stardew, we'll kind of see what best to do. Again, getting as much money as possible is probably the biggest priority, as I do want to get ready for those fall crops, but we'll see how that goes. I'm sure with that blueberry harvest, that'll help quite a bit, but we'll see how things go. Until then, thank you all for watching once again, and I will see you all in the next one. Later.